Hello, Leo.
Hello, Pauline.
Can you tell me how has planning changed with electric buses?
So with electric buses, the margins are a lot more small than we are used to. So it adds to the complexity. And also considering the varying temperatures and we have cold climate here, that's also another level of complexity. So it's a lot more to take into consideration. And in some areas, like here in Stockholm, for instance, we have services during the whole night. And we need to make sure that the buses have enough charge for the morning peak as well.
So how does the charging infrastructure affect vehicle rotation and scheduling?
It depends a lot on which area we are in. Right now we are quite lucky that we have enough power in most of our areas, so it's not that much of a factor that we need to take into consideration. In some places we have a lot less power available, and then we need to take extra measures to make sure that the vehicles that need to be charged are charged.
So what challenges do you face in balancing traffic needs and charging needs?
In areas where we have a lot of service throughout the days and a very high interval, then charging can really be an issue, and it could in worst case require several additional peak vehicles. Traditionally, we've always tried to smooth the peaks so that we don't have that much of a morning and afternoon peak, but when it comes to charging, it's actually a bit of an advantage to have some spare capacity during the day for charging.
Have electric buses created new planning opportunities that didn't exist before?
I would say that it has. The fact that the buses need to get back to the depot to be recharged is something that we can use to get the drivers back to the depot as well. So instead of scheduling a travel, the drivers take the bus back to the depot when they end their shift, for instance.
So what's next for electric bus planning?
We will see what happens with the vehicles and their range. The batteries have quickly become larger and the range longer. So maybe the range is not an issue for the planning in the future, but also maybe we pick smaller batteries and cheaper vehicles. So it's really a balance that we need to take into consideration. I also think that we could take the operational variations better into consideration as well, the temperature changes and different weather.
Thank you, Leo, for giving us all this insight on electric bus planning. And now we're going to go and see the charging infrastructure. So Carl, what is different working with charging compared to fuel?
Each vehicle needs its own charging point. That's the big difference. That means that we have to build new infrastructure in the depots, in the terminals where the vehicles are. And that also means that we need new competences. We need to learn new things about grid, power, charging, paying also the electricity at the right time. So when do we charge? At what time? These are new components that are evolving in the public transport.
So what impact does charging have on coordination across the organization?
It's a very important part. I think all parts are important. How much charging do you need? When do you charge? Then you have to talk to the planners. How is the traffic performing? You have to also discuss with the maintenance. So charging is a piece of the puzzle to make the whole ecosystem work.
And Carl, what challenges have you faced with charging stations?
Base is one. Where do you put all the equipment in the depot, which was not designed for this? The other thing is grid. How much power is in the grid? And how do you build this at the same time you're running operations? It is a complex project work. Everyone has to collaborate. So it's more the commissioning part, which has been the challenging part. But also choosing the right suppliers and right level of technology so that in the long run it will be beneficial to Keolis.
And what has worked best so far in the implementation?
I would say the people involved. The people involved have been extremely open, up to the challenge, and they've solved a lot of the issues that they have been faced with, and I think in a very successful way. This is new technology. This is something that no one has done before. So it's been a fantastic learning curve for a lot of individuals at Keolis.
And how do you see charging infrastructure evolving?
New technology will arrive. I mean, technology has never stood still. So, of course, charging infrastructure will be built and look different in the future than it does today. That we can be completely sure of.
So thank you, Carl, for giving us this insightful information about charging.
You're welcome, Pauline.